China is sitting in the dilemma, if I may put it this way, dilemma, in this Ukrainian war issues. And of course, Europe as well, in the dilemma in the sense of energy supply. Volker, if you guys say, by 2030, now in the last few days, all of a sudden here, it's now 3 years shorter. By 2027, you will be making yourself fully independent from Russian oils. How could that be possible? Because you need to, explore a huge market to replace the Russian supply, or huge supply to replace the Russian supply. So at the end of the day, I would say you have only 6 months until September of this year, because in September, it will be quite cold in Germany or in Europe. You need heating. If by end of September, you will be able to find a huge supplier which has the same size as Russia, then very naturally you will be, you'll get every family, every household will have to receive some quota for energy, will turn 2 degrees lower for the energy, which is very likely to be reality. So we both have dilemma. China has dilemma in political sense. Europe has dilemma in more daily life sense. Would it have been possible? I'm just naming few examples. Of course, we have some more. Would it have been possible that, we have one point in common. We can never be strategic enemies. When I'm talking about strategic enemy, I raised this point many years ago, already in 2008, when Beijing Summer Olympic was held. At that time, things were also quite serious, Professor Feng, right? At that time, between Europe and China, when Angela Merkel, which just came to power in 2005, things were quite serious. Volker, you were ambassador in China at that time, right? So, but still, I always said we can be never strategic enemies, because China's ambition, I might be right, I may be wrong, you can correct me, Professor Feng. China's ambition in positive sense or negative sense or whatever, in neutral sense, whatever, will be becoming a superpower in the future, which is a natural conflict with the United States, which has already become the history for European countries. That was Europe in the second half of 19th century, at most in the first half of 20th century. If now one guy, people are talking about Europe will be becoming superpower, everyone will say, they will be thinking about he's crazy. So only in this regard, China and Europe will never have the chance, even a chance, to become strategic enemy. We can have far more conflict among each other than between China and the United States. Because the United States is a very realistic country, people can put aside some conflict. Europe is quite idealistic, which is good in this point. But in strategic enemy, let's forget about it. There will be, even if some people will think about, I want to be strategic enemy with Germany, with France, no way, because Europe, you wouldn't be dreaming of becoming superpower. That was the history, which you already have been paying so many lessons for, which China might be paying some lessons in the future. I don't know. Hopefully not. But anyway, in this, from a very realistic point of view, we are not at the same level of making dream. Only in this regard, I don't see any rooms of becoming enemies. If we don't have rooms of becoming enemies, why don't we try to figure out and try to explore some rooms for further engagement? Just for one purpose, try to avoid. 10, 15 years ago, we were talking about trying to avoid some conflict. Now we are seriously talking about stop a war or avoid a war. So that's what I'm thinking about. I might be naive. You can correct me. I just want our children or maybe our students to say in 10, 15 years or maybe in 20 years, hi, why didn't you guys at that time by 2022 until 2024, didn't make any brainstorming.